Hello and welcome back to another Doctor Who ratings analysis video. Now this is very much hot off the press kind of news because the latest issue of Doctor Who magazine number 606 has dropped through my letterbox, and within it we have some numbers for series 14 season 40 series 1, the 2024 series of Doctor Who. Within this page, we have Tom Spilsbury, former editor of Doctor Who magazine, who has a look at all the numbers so far. And what I think is particularly interesting is some of the decisions that have been made in terms of this table. I'm specifically thinking about BBC Three repeat and calculating an estimated reach. Now, in a future video on this channel, I'll have a look when we have all the 28-day ratings and their relevant chart positions. We'll dive into that when we've got more than 5 out of the 8 episodes. So we've got everything up from Space Babies to Dot and Bubble. The numbers published in Doctor Who magazine differ slightly from some of the numbers I've seen reported elsewhere, but they're fairly consistent. And the 28-day ratings are not brilliant, let's be honest. They're around 4.5 million, with Dot and Bubble particularly low at less than 4 million over 28 days, which is why I believe Doctor Who magazine have made the decision to include the BBC repeats and calculate an estimated reach. Now, it's not unheard of for repeats of Doctor Who to be brought into the equation when it comes to calculating how many people watch the programme, and it is a perfectly reasonable to include the BBC Three repeats, and there's also a later repeat in the week that is for BBC Two and has sign language. So again, it is perfectly valid to include those viewing figures. However, given that the so-called sign zone BBC Two repeats with sign language are fairly minimal in terms of viewership, they don't often figure into the equation, and they're not numbers that are readily available. So the fact that Doctor Who magazine is calculating or estimating a reach for these episodes, to me, is intriguing in and of itself. So I think the fact that they've gone to the effort of reporting a so-called reach figure of 5.6 million for Space Babies, calculating, BBC Three repeat 7 days and 28 days, I think that's particularly interesting, and it is significant. So 5.6 million for Space Babies sounds a lot better than 4.43 million, which is the BBC One screening over 28 days. So whether you think this is Doctor Who magazine and the Doctor Who production team trying to artificially inflate the numbers to make the series look better and more popular, that's up to you. I would, however, suggest that there is a particular flaw in our rating system that really is allowing for anomalies like this. So if a program screens on the television and is available then on catch-up services, that should be all the numbers you get. However, because you have repeats and you have iPlayer availability of that repeat, so you would watch the iPlayer and have a BBC Three logo perhaps in the top corner, I think you're really highlighting the fact that our rating system in the UK is deeply flawed. So the fact that Doctor Who magazine are publishing a reach figure rather than focusing on the 4.43 28-day rating for Space Babies as an example, is very much an issue with the system. Now, again, you can interpret their decision to include the BBC Three repeats. I'm pretty sure I remember BBC Three repeat numbers being reported previously, but to calculate a reach, is an interesting move, shall we say. Again, even when they include their calculated reach figure, Boom and Dot and Bubble only getting 4.3 million, even with that so-called estimate. It's really not great. But as I say, in a future video, I'll have a look at the 28-day numbers as and when they are officially confirmed, or when Doctor Who magazine in a month's time publish the remaining 3 episodes of the series and their 28-day figures. We'll dive into them, we'll do some proper analysis, and we'll estimate and calculate how much of an increase in percentage terms has Doctor Who got from catch-up services and the iPlayer versus the overnight. And we'll see what the numbers look like. But at this stage, they're not looking great. Now, I hope that brief video is of interest, and for those that haven't picked up Doctor Who magazine, it should be in the shops from tomorrow. I'm recording this on Wednesday and tomorrow's Thursday. It makes for interesting reading, and it's definitely worth picking up and having a read and making your own interpretations of the numbers that are being reported and have so far been confirmed. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, please share and subscribe to the channel. I have 2 more videos coming up in short succession where we'll look at Doctor Who Series 14, Season 40, Series 1, whatever you want to call it, up against Peter Capaldi's first series as the Doctor, Series 8. And another video which looks at Doctor Who versus the UK box office, so the screening of the penultimate and finale episodes of the series, how that measured up in the box office and how it compares to previous Doctor Who in UK cinema. Thank you for now though, all the best.